He's right. Merry Christmas, or should I say, Knoxmas. I hope you've all had a wonderful Christmas so far. Lord knows Santa Knox has had a good Christmas. He's very tired from traveling all over the world and delivering different gifts to all the good boys and girls, that's for sure. Was Knox a good boy this year? Well, there's a song that I know. It's kind of sums things up. It's called I'm Getting Nothing for Christmas. Perhaps you've heard. Perhaps you'll sing along. I'm getting nothing for Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Mommy and Daddy are mad. I'm getting nothing for Christmas. 'Cause I've been nothing but bad. Ho, ho, ho. Oh. All right, this is really hard to keep that voice going the whole time. Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you've all had a wonderful day. I know I have. I was finally able to escape my close loved ones to come spend some time with you. As you can see, the Knox Express is rocking and rolling, and I'm here at Subdued Terminal. We've, of course, got the different camera angles this year. See, there we are at the terminal. Let's get things started here. Now, you might have heard me talk about it on the show. I have added on a new area of track. Takes you a little further, a little more intimate into my my abode here. And you'll notice at this level, I'm not very good at cleaning underneath things, so let me apologize for that ahead of time. But as you can see, it now travels around the area that you saw last time on Thanksgiving. However, it takes a turn right about now. It goes down the hallway. As you can see, there's my front door over there. I closed the door to the bathroom this time because, well, last time it wasn't the most clean. It isn't now either. I literally shoved everything in there just to make it cleaner in here. So I'm totally, I have a hoarder's bathroom. The bathtub's got stuff in it right now. No, I will shower later. But yes, as we travel into the bedroom. Oh, yeah. What do you think of this, huh? Mm-hmm. Around the dresser. There's my folding bike, dude. Santa brought me one of those. And travels safely around the corner. That right there on the left is a vintage Bissell vacuum. It's not powered. It's hand-driven. You just roll it across the floor. Actually does a better job than most powered vacuums, believe it or not. The old engineering definitely working quite well. And as you can see, engineering-wise, there you go, around the bed. Yep, back around the corner. Like, seriously, this took me forever to get to work right, like days. And I was crawling around on all fours after my hernia surgery, which is not the best move. Where the hell did it go? Oh, train seems to have stopped. I'll have to get up and check that out in a minute. I don't know what's going on there. But in the meantime, while we're trying to figure out why my train stopped, let's get into some mail. Here we go. Mr. Knox, did anything weird happen surrounding my surgery? Does the package look better or worse? Love ya, Girth Brooks fan. Well, Girth Brooks fan. The surgery was unrelated to the dog bite to the dick. It was a hernia surgery, so Nothing weird happened there. It was laparoscopic, and it was pretty serious surgery. Though I was under, they had to put a breathing tube in. Did you know that they actually sit there and they tell you that they're going to put a breathing tube in? It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I guess I should know that, but I would have been better off not knowing because that made me more nervous than anything else. But surgery went okay. Girth Brooks is doing okay. He's got a small scratch on the top of the head, but not the tip, the top of the head, the base of the mushroom, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it's healing nicely, so that's going okay. Hey, Knox, I watched that old show where you talked about the bully. Was that your only bully? How many times did he call you at home and bully you over the phone? Thanks for reading my questions. Silver and gold. Silver and gold. Silver and gold. He only called a couple of times. Trying to think here. He did the one I talked about the warts. And I ended up cutting them off, essentially, as a result. It was quite awful. Couldn't make fun of warts that weren't there anymore. Yeah, he called up and he's like, I see the warts on your wrist in class. So weird. And he called my house and left a message, pretended to be the principal of the school, and told my parents I hadn't been to school in weeks. And I got grounded until we got it all sorted out. It was terrible. He only called a couple of times. We used to get weird, like, white supremacist voicemails too. Like, they had these like recordings that they would play into our voice, our answering machine. It was very strange. But yeah. I was just thinking about gifts and gift giving. And I hope you all got the gifts that you wanted this year. And I want to tell you a funny story. That really should have been the first indicator that my failed engagement was going to fail. And that was a couple Christmases ago when my ex-fiance and I were here where I work. She's weren't going to give gifts that year. No gifts. She didn't want gifts. Didn't want to give gifts. I thought that was horseshit. You can't have Christmas and no gifts. It's not happening. So I did what any guy would do. I went to Dick's Sporting Goods and I bought us both gifts. I got gifts for me and for her. And I wrapped them all up and I put them under the tree. And the next morning, while the kids were going crazy with their gifts and all excited and everything else, I spied the gifts. She didn't know where they were from. And so I gave her a gift and, she thought that was cute. And I gave her another gift and she was starting to get a little bit annoyed, but she thought that was cute too. And then I opened a gift. And she said, where is that gift from? And I looked at her and I gave her a wiggle of the nose and a wink. And I said, must be Santa. And I opened it up and I gave myself some awesome fishing lures. Santa brought me some fishing lures, some snowboarding socks. What else did I get? Some other cool stuff. A new hat. A new hat that I liked very much. And she reminded me of that stunt like all year long. She said it was the only time she ever, or it was the first time she ever found me unattractive. And that was not cool. So that should have been the first big flag, but it didn't seem to really catch my attention. But yeah, that was one memory of mine about gift giving. It just popped in my head. Next, mail. Knox, do you ever watch adult movies? And if so, what's your favorite genre? Mikey Hack. Well, Mikey Hack, Merry Christmas to you, sir. I do frequent Pornhub, and I don't really have the Net Video Girls series where the girls show up to do a calendar shoot and they end up having sex. Those I like. I can't tell if they're staged. I'm assuming by this point, if they weren't staged, that guy would be arrested by now. So
I do prefer amateur stuff though, and I'm not always a big fan of the produced stuff. I prefer amateur stuff because, well, it's more real, right? No one's faking. At least they shouldn't be in an amateur film. The first adult flick I ever saw was Night Shift Nurses. It was definitely like a 1970s flick. Never forget, there was a guy in there who wrestled himself. He was a patient in the hospital, and he referred to himself as the man who wrestled himself. He was all oiled up, wearing a Speedo, and then I think the nurse tried to give him a sponge bath or something, and then he ends up banging her. I don't know. I was young. I was probably in like 9th or 10th grade, a long time ago. But yeah, that was quite the time. Quite the time. I'll tell you what. Boy, let's see here. Knox, if a dog bites you again, will you sue? XOXO, sweet young thing. Well, let me tell you something about all that. If the bite was bad enough the first time, this first time, if it had been bad enough, yeah, I would have sued. If I had a mangled wiener, it would have been all over. But unfortunately, the dog got me through my clothes. It was only a scrape. That's why I went to the doctor. I couldn't tell if it was a scrape or a puncture. And he told me exactly what was going on. And it was a scrape. What I didn't like, though, is that he said it was provoked. And I don't think that was provoked. Would I sue if it bit me again? That would be a bridge to cross when we got there. Not really sure, honestly, if I want to sue. It's a good friend of mine. If a dog bit me again, I would just tell him to frickin' put it down. Quite honestly, or get it the hell away from everybody. I don't know. It's a very touchy thing when it's a good friend that owns the dog. I'm sure there's got to be some of you out there who have been bitten by a friend's dog before. He can't be messing around. Yeah. Knox, if you could marry any celebrity, who would it be? Well, who would my celebrity wife be? If she was a couple years younger, Julianne Moore. I like Julianne Moore. Maud Lebowski. She's pretty hot. I also liked that girl from Weeds, Mary Louise Parker. She was pretty hot. Both of those women had pale skin. Anything related one pale to the other? Honestly, I don't believe so. Now listen, I'm going to go and unstick this train quickly because it's driving me crazy seeing the Knox Express stopped for whatever reason. So please excuse me for a moment while I go do that and talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. In fact, Mikey, if you want to jump in and entertain someone for a minute, go for it. I'll be right back. All right, we're back up and running. As you can see, the Knox Express making its rounds. There's my foot there. Yeah, G-scale trains. I tell you what, I have spent far too much money on this thing this year. And, the good part is I don't have to spend all that money next year on track. Next year, I'll just be buying extra trains and cars, I suppose. I'll probably spend the same amount of money. This stuff isn't cheap at all. The initial, I think that I'm up to like maybe like $800 into all this. My goal was to keep it under 1,000. So, stuff adds up quickly. Darn hobbies. Oh, yeah. There we go. And I'll tell you what, going underneath this piece of furniture right here, yeah, that was also a major challenge. As you can see, there's a Yahtzee box under there. I had to raise up the underpinning of the chaise lounge, however the hell you say it. It kept on knocking over the phone. So I wasn't a huge fan of that. It upset me. Trying to get back to some good Christmas memories. Oh, there you go. I got a great Christmas story for you. It goes back a couple years. I was traveling to see. In case you've noticed, I've had a couple romances over the years. And there's a woman I met through work. This is in like 2009, probably. It was when I was still drinking. And so I decided I'm going to go and spend Christmas. I'm going to fly on Christmas out to Buffalo to meet this woman. And I got hammered at the Philadelphia airport. I had a layover in Philly. I was flying up from North Carolina. I had a layover in Philadelphia. And I brought, oh, look, the camera fell over again. Yeah, I don't know about this. I don't know about this whole train thing. When it comes back by, I'll fix it. Jesus, I can't win today. I've had more trial and error with this darn camera, which is just my phone, but I made this device that it stays up with. The hell? All right, hold on. God damn it. Fucking thing. Driving me crazy. Bullshit.
Ugh! Ho, ho. Damn toys! People at the North Pole need to try a little harder.
Stupid thing. There we go. So anyway, got to the Philadelphia airport, got hammered, and I was handing out Christmas cookies in the bar. And I got a pilot. We chatted it up for a while. He was drinking too. I don't think he was headed to go fly anywhere. He was just having a few cocktails. He was in uniform though. And at the end of our conversation, I told him, he's like, well, where are you headed to? I said, Buffalo. He said, oh. And then he knew the airport, so he knew I was in the wrong terminal. I did not know I was in the wrong terminal because I wasn't paying attention because I was drunk, and it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. So this guy waves down one of those golf carts inside the airport. We load into this thing. We're laughing and having a good old time and flying across the airport through the terminals, get out onto the tarmac. And I had to get onto a bus and was driven over to my airplane that was done boarding, by the way. And they got me on last minute. And I made my flight. Made it up there. And the girl that was picking me up, she was hammered as well upon arrival. And then her car, her truck she had was stuck in third gear. Like the whole ride home on the highway, so it's the whole ride down to her house. Her parents had no idea she was bringing me. I showed up to her parents' place. They had no idea who I was. All they knew was that she and I were hammered, and they liked me though. Of course, I did win them over. You know how could, I mean, come on, how could you not have happiness and joy if this guy shows up to your house? Comfort and joy. Yeah, good tidings. So we had a good time. She ended up taking me back to her house. We were in the shower together. She had makeup on, and it ran down her face. I made a comment about calling her a sad clown. We eventually drank a bunch of White Russians. She passed out cold. Eventually woke up, made me dinner, and then kicked me out the next day. Said I had to leave. I had nowhere to go. It was the day after Christmas. So I stayed at my aunt and uncle's for a couple days unannounced. I showed up at their doorstep. It was a wacky Christmas. That was not a good Christmas that year. That was a bad Christmas, essentially. Romance did not happen, and that was that. That was that. I also had long toenails. That was a major turnoff during we did have some sex, and my toenails were long, and I scraped her leg with my toenail, and she freaked out and made me cut my toenails. And then I came back to the bedroom, and she's like, "You think I'm in the mood now? Like, you totally ruined it." So my long toenail interrupted our coitus. Anyway, let's keep rolling around down the old stories here, or the letters. What is the average day of Knox breakfast, lunch, and dinner as a swinging single, Nick? Well, Nick, great question. Typical day of Noxy Claus. Right now I'm on vacation, so I'm usually up around 7. I may go down to the coffee shop, may not these days, depending on how I'm feeling. I do have a pound of my favorite coffee, French press grind, and I make my own French coffee here at home. Let the dog out. Watch a little TV. I'm going to tell you something about me. I like to watch yesterday's news because I don't have cable, so I watch it on YouTube. And I got to tell you, my life is a lot better since watching yesterday's news. If you watch yesterday's newscast, for some reason, it's nowhere near as sad as it could be. I don't know why. It's not anywhere near as of a bummer. So I watch yesterday's news, usually in the morning. Continue on my day. These days might consist of, right now I'm recovering from surgery, so it's not I'm not out skiing yet. Snowboarding, actually. Recently involves me crawling around on all fours, putting track together for this little soiree we're doing. The midday or so, a couple of joints might get smoked. Take the dog for a walk, and make dinner. Sometimes go out and buy dinner. Recently, I've been cooking at home more. Made some steak. I've had some fajitas. I've had salmon. Cooked a nice salmon the other day. With potatoes. Salmon and potatoes was good. It was actually, no, back it up. It wasn't even salmon. It was steelhead. Steelhead trout. You know where I got that steelhead trout from, of all places? Aldi. $9 for a fillet of steelhead trout. Unbelievable. Can't believe that they have such a good price on steelhead. Steelhead isn't cheap, dude. I'll tell you what. If you get a big fillet of that from the store, like Costco or something, it's expensive. I like sushi a lot. I go out for sushi more often than I should. Sometimes with company, sometimes without. But I just like it. I don't appear to have gout, so I can eat shellfish pretty often. I love seafood, but average day of Knox breakfast, lunch. Lunch is usually skipped. I don't always eat lunch. Depends on how hungry I am, really. Sometimes I do. Great bar around the corner. I go there for a sandwich now and then. I don't really hang around bars too much, you know that. But there is a good bar around the corner that I eat their sandwich. Buffalo chicken sandwich, quite tasty. Spot down in Vermont that I go to also. They have an incredible chicken sandwich as well. The buffalo, it's called the Wild Bill. It's sliced chicken breasts, and it's got French's onion, the fried onions on there, and I sub ranch for the blue cheese. I don't like blue cheese on a sandwich ever, unless it's a burger. It's got to be in the burger, not on the burger. There it goes. It fell down again. I tell you what, there's my ceiling, looking pretty good there, dude. You can see I got a lot of light bulbs that are working. in the household. Mm-hmm. Wow. You try, seriously, I put so much work into this damn thing, and all it does is fall over. It's not easy. Different view of my bedroom, though. Tell you what, pretty clean ceiling. I have this crazy infestation of ladybugs, but they're not ladybugs. They're like whatever that invasive ladybug lookalike is. Usually I have those all over the ceiling, and they freak me out. But it's too cold for them now, so that's good. But yeah, the Wild Bill. The Wild Bill is the sandwich that I prefer. Let's see here. Hey, Knox, do you have any phobias? USMC Roost. Well, sir, oorah. Let me fix this stupid camera again before I get into this. Tell you what, driving me crazy. Oh, man. Thank goodness for boom mics that can slide with you. You can still hear me talking over here. Let me look towards the middle. That'll work better. Ah, Jesus. I am afraid of a couple things, actually. Believe it or not. Oh, hold on. All this maneuvering with the wound from the surgery. Not the easiest thing in the world. Let me change my camera here. Yeah, there you go. Most recent phobias. Let me see here. I'm terrified of severe weather. I don't know if that has a name or not. Let me look this up. Let me see if it does have one. Fear of severe weather is called astrophobia. So apparently I have astrophobia. And people with astrophobia, thunderstorms cause an extreme reaction that can be debilitating. For people with this phobia, these feelings may be overwhelming and feel insurmountable. Astrophobia is also called astropophobia. Astropophobia. Like I'm not, and it's 1 in 10 Americans. The main thing that I'm afraid of with severe weather, honestly, though, is which has happened out in the Midwest, is dying in a tornado. If there is like a severe weather statement, and there's a tornado coming, I shit my pants. Not literally, but I freak out. Freak out. Yeah, this works. What do you think of this one? Yeah, it looks great, doesn't it? Oh boy. What else am I afraid of? I am afraid. Well, I don't like bananas. I was force-fed bananas by a babysitter, and that makes me like not even want to be around a banana. I don't like them. I won't eat one. I'm also afraid of bees. I don't like bees at all. The like hornets' nests. If I always go looking for them, like under eaves and that kind of stuff. If I'm doing yard work, not that I do yard work very often, but if I'm walking around the side of someone's house or anywhere under an eave, I'll always look up and make sure that there isn't a bee's nest there. I don't know why, but I'm terrified of bees and bees nests, mostly hornets. Those gray looking nests, they freak me out, dude. I don't like them whatsoever. They make me very, very uncomfortable. Like beyond uncomfortable. I have to come back and kill it, or I have someone else come kill it for me. One time I almost sat on a yellow jacket's nest. It was in a chair. They had built a nest in the cushion. And I was actually sitting next to the chair. Go figure, I was smoking a joint. And I observed, look at that, it fell over again. Son of a gun. What's making it fall down? I don't know. I'm getting real tired of it though. I don't know what the deal is here. But yeah, I don't. I was sitting there smoking, and I saw these slow moving yellow jackets coming in for landing on this chair next to me, and then I watched it longer, and dude, there was like a bunch of yellow jackets coming out of that thing, and it was freaking me out. And I dragged the chair out of the garage that I was in. It was a carport, actually, more of a carport than a garage, and tried to kill this thing with the bee spray. Eventually got it. It was like this big underneath. Can you imagine if I sat on that chair? Holy shit, that would have been bad, very bad. So yeah, those are my main phobias: bees, bananas, and severe weather. Ooh, I wonder if there's a name for fear of bananas. Let me see here. Fear of bananas. I don't think it has a name. It's banana phobia. Fear of bananas phobia name is banana phobia, and it is a real fear. Isn't that interesting? Let's see here. Fear of bananas, banana phobia. Fear. It's from fearof.net. It says it is very rare and uncommon, but the fear of bananas, banana phobia, does exist. A very famous case about such a phobia has been reported by the Daily Mail. You know, we all know that they're real classy outfit. According to this news report, a woman had been scared of bananas all her life, so much so that she could not stand being in the same room as them without feeling nauseated each time. Yeah, I'm not to that point. I just don't want to be anywhere near them. I don't even like touching a banana. Thankfully, her story ends on a happy note as she was able to completely conquer her fear of bananas. I don't know causes of banana phobia. Only a handful of people are known to suffer from the fear of bananas from all over the world. Most cases begin in childhood, where I was force-fed those bananas by that bitch freaking babysitter. Most cases begin in childhood when one has been forced to eat bananas by parents or caregivers to an extent that leads to stomach distress or vomiting. Yes, that's exactly what happened to me. I know I've told this story before, but seriously, I had this crazy-ass babysitter who was big on cleaning your plate. You had to clean your plate. And so I brought in great foods for snack time. Okay. I was like 5 or 6. I always had great foods for snack. I had like Oreos and chips and not the cheese puffs, but like Cheetos, like the harder ones, cheese doodles they were crunchy, not the puffy thing you touch it with. God forbid it touches a freaking banana slice and then it's all over on those puffs. Anyway, I always had good stuff for snack plates. This bitch was big on cleaning your plate. My parents knew I didn't like bananas. It wasn't pushed in my household. Long story short, this lady caught on that I wasn't cleaning my plate. I always left the banana slices because some crunchy asshole always had bananas in there. You know, first of all, what a freaking cop-out snack. Banana. You're going to go put a banana in a kid's freaking lunchbox? Anyway, this babysitter would slice up the bananas and take everyone's different snacks and have socialist snack time. My snacks ended up on everyone else's plates. I would be lucky to get one of my Oreos, but 5 of my buddies had one of my Oreos too. Okay? I'm not a fan of socialism either. Let's just get that straight. I fall in the middle, but she soured me on that back when I was a kid. Anyway, I didn't eat the bananas for about a week. Friday comes around. Now, this particular babysitter also had an in-ground pool, which I know is probably against the law at this point, but we would all go swimming in her pool. And I couldn't go in the pool because I didn't clean my plate. And she came out and she gave me all the bananas that I didn't eat for an entire week. That's all that was on my snack plate. Just the brown, slimy, shitty bananas. And I sat there and I gagged and I put them in my mouth and I like, it was just awful. And my parents didn't believe me. Years later, in 2010, my first year of sobriety from alcohol, I showed up at her front porch, knocked on the door as a grown kid that she babysat. Asked her if she remembered who I was. She said no. I made her guess like 5 different times and she was getting uncomfortable. Told her who I was. They were crocodile tears, not gonna lie. Those are alligator tears. They weren't real tears. She brings me inside. We sit down. We have a cup of coffee and a couple of pecan sandies. No bananas. And I decided to confront her on what had happened. And I told her, I was like, do you remember doing this to me? And she looked at me and she said, that never happened. I said, it did happen. Her name was Mary. I said, it did happen, Mary. Mary's like 60 something years old at this point. And she's looking at me and she squinted her eyes. She goes, you always did have an imagination. Because, the jig was up. I called her out on it. And then she squinted him even lower and she goes, and a stutter too. This bitch called me out for having a stutter when I was I was an anxious kid. Probably because you were forcing me to eat fucking bananas. Anyway, back at it. Let's see here. Bananas often have a slimy texture, and not all people are fond of its flavor or odor. Me. Many claim that the texture of overripe bananas is akin to eating slugs. I've never eaten slugs, but I bet it's not too far off. The brain learns to revisit those ill feelings over and over, especially when one experiences stress or anxiety, causing situations such as watching someone eat a banana. Truth, I can't stand watching anyone eat bananas. I can't smell them. Seriously. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I feel like a hot girl is eating a banana slowly. All right, I can deal with that for a second. But at the end of the day, she's eating slugs. Ho, ho, ho. Roar. All right, next one. Knox, what is the sexiest part of a woman's body? Your friend, Gas Station Greg. The sexiest part of a woman's body. Her brain. Just kidding. I like it. I feel like every woman has a different sexiest part of her body. And that's probably the best way to answer this, because sometimes I like to watch a woman's buttocks. I like the curve, like that curve, the crease underneath the cheek, that, you know what I'm talking about. I like that spot. Big fan of the midriff. I like breasts. Collar, neck, you know what I mean? Sometimes their hands are sexy. I like it all. I like all of the anatomy. Yeah. Eyes. It's got good eyes. Could be it. Lips. Mouth. Santa likes a good mouth. All right. Yo, dude, I know you love trains. Ever been part of one or had the offer to join? You're my hero, bro. Bingo. Have I ever been in a train? Yeah, I'm assuming you're referring to the kind that involves coitus. No, I have never been a part of running a train on anyone. That doesn't really get me going for the most part. But I never had the offer to. I haven't had the offer to be a part of one either. I don't know. Maybe I just don't hang around with the right people. I'm not sure. Last but not least, my dude, have you ever got with a female that intimidated you in the bedroom? Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, Jillian. Has a woman ever intimidated me? Yes. I'm trying to think of who it was, what her name was. I'm not even sure if it was so. I mean, there was slight intimidation. I think it was more that I liked this person a lot. This is back in the early 2000s. I chased after this waitress for a long time and finally had a chance to bring her home. And I was so psyched out about not performing well that I didn't perform well. And part of it was that one of my roommates had gotten with her as well in this house. And I wasn't sure if he knew that I had her at the house. And so every time I thought I heard the door open or close, I'd stop. I'd be like mid-stroke, and then I'd stop. And she'd be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I think someone's at the door. And she's like, what? And I'm like, and then of course my erection went away. And that was the end of that. She intimidated me. She was pretty hot. She was very hot. She Yeah.
Did you fuck my mom, Santa Claus?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, what a great ending note. Time that I totally blew it in the bedroom. It's great. It doesn't happen very often. We all have our bad days. You know what I'm saying? Good coffee. Well, folks, I hope you have all had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas and you get all the gifts you want. And I'll tell you what, if you don't, go buy whatever you want. Everything's going on sale tomorrow anyway. Candy, especially. Holy crap, dude. You can get like all the Christmas stuff goes like 50% off everywhere. And I know it's not as special of a second day, but it's cheap. So just get whatever you want. Go buy whatever you want for yourself. Make yourself happy this Christmas. That's all you can do. Watch out for angry dogs sleeping by a door. And I'll catch you guys in the new year. Is it going to be the new year when we get back together again? I don't even know what day it is. Jesus. All right. Take her easy.